Hi all, I hope we are doing well with quarantine. This is for exam number 4 too. Now I'll share my screen right here with the exam, with actually the exam homepage, and I'll be answering question number 4-2C. The question states, below is a hypothetical developmental network. The pathway leads to the formation of spikes in certain cells of the ectoderm of the spiny beetle. Not all cells in the ectoderm have spikes, some are smooth. And it gives us a protein pathway here that ultimately leads up to the formation of spikes. Right now, using the network above, we can go down the list of mutant strains and proteins and explain why they won't be able to produce spikes, right? So first, you start with P, and you see my cursor right here. That's what I'll be using to point us along. But here, you see, if we start with the mutant strain P, what will happen is that P ultimately will lead to the formation of I, which is a path that's actually blocked when you want to create spikes. And therefore, you won't be able to create any spikes in cells that express the mutant P. Now with I, it's the same scenario actually. You end up with I, and you go along a path that ends up being blocked, and you don't reach the spike formation that you want within the beetles. Now with I and E, what you do is you go along I, and that doesn't work. We've already established that in the previous problem. But with E, you go and you see that you actually end up with a pathway that leads to the formation of spikes within the cell of the ectoderm. And so you will be able to produce spikes with E, but not with I. Now with S and K, it's again similar scenarios. You start with S, you go along your path, you go to P, you go to I, and then you end up block. And with K, it's just a straight block right there. And that way, you don't end up with any spikes. Now, next question is using the network above, hypothesized why not all cells in the ectoderm have spikes, and that would be because and give me 1 second. That would be because different cells obviously the frequency of mutation might be a little bit higher. Different proteins might be expressed. There's a lot of epigenetic factors even that could affect the display of proteins such as these, and therefore the characteristics that would exist within these cells proteins as well. And that is why not all cells in the ectoderm would have spikes. And yeah, that is the answer to question number 4-2C. And I hope you guys are staying safe and doing well, and remember to wash your hands.